Good morning everybody. This is the Winform video racing seminar. It's for 2019 based on new data analysis and so on. I'm just going to take you through now to part 3 and let's go. First of all, obviously Winform wins, or I wouldn't be presenting it to you. Now Winform premium rating subscription includes ratings for every race meeting every day, 7 days a week. Race info is available 24 hours prior to start date, updated after scratching and track conditions are known approximately 9 a.m. It's later for interstate time differences. Obviously, West Australia is at least 2 hours behind us. We've got single selections plus feature races. Now I want to talk to you about benchmark handicaps. It's an important thing and very misunderstood. They were introduced in New South Wales in 2010. Punters were a bit bewildered and still are at times. Favourites in the benchmark handicaps have only got a 29% strike rate because of that. In New South Wales, that strike rate is only 27%. Now, just by the way, if you want to get involved and order the Winform ratings, this is where you go to. You can just click on winform.shopfactory.com, etc. and go and order it there. This is where we're starting, is the benchmark race and a bit of history. So in other states, Victorian handicaps do all the races in the southern states. That's Tasmania, South Australia, Victoria, obviously. All states use 1 point in the benchmark, equals half a kilo. In West Australia, their own handicapping panel creates the ratings, and in the case of horses visiting from other starts, they review their benchmark and reassess it by their own judgment. So basically, every time a horse runs, it's getting a rating. So in New South Wales, they describe the ratings as benchmarks as a true merit of performance. They analyse race quality and strength, the sectional and race times, the beaten margin weight carried, the track rating, whether it's soft or good, etc., and race conditions. Reasoned historical performances, that is, where is the horse in the form cycle. And it's assessed against the entire New South Wales horse population. They review race films and stewards' reports. Victorian benchmarks, it's a handicap race based on ratings, no upper or lower limit on eligibility. In simple terms, a benchmark race is open to all horses. Once upon a time, if a horse had run 6 races, basically was in running in open races all the time. Very hard for some of the horses to win. Now you'll notice that a lot of older horses are still able to win, even though they've won 20 races. They can still get into a benchmark on a reasonable handicap. So the weights assigned to each entry relate to the benchmark rating assigned to that race. In a benchmark 78 race, all horses can enter. Now, a horse rated 78 would get 60 kilos, but a horse that's got a benchmark of 79 can still race, but get an extra half kilo. 80 rated horse will get 61 kilos and so on. So each point above the benchmark equals half a kilo in additional weight, and of course, going the other way would indicate less. The benefits are it creates more racing opportunities for horses, reducing the restriction on eligibility, provides a bigger spread in the weights and giving you competitive racing, although obviously some races are not competitive at all. So here's an idea about benchmarks. We're talking about all benchmark runners that were favourites. In benchmarks up to 60, and we're probably talking maiden to class 1 here, from 1475 there were 425 wins, 29% strike rate, losing 7%. 61 to 70, obviously a lot more of those races. 30% of favourites won, still losing 5%. 71 to 80, minus 5.5, and once you get over the 80, even though you still get about 30% odd favourites, the average winning price is less. Apparently they're a bit easier to find, but nevertheless you're losing 8%. So punters aren't really good at finding, well, they're not as good at finding winners as benchmarks as anything else. But interestingly enough, if you just back the Winform top 2 horses that are favourite in a benchmark, you can cut that loss down to 1%. So if we're looking at the top 2, 30% of wins and an average dividend, that's in the top 2 whether they were favourite or not, the average win price is $6.34. If you're backing the benchmark horses in the country, we get just under 30% wins, minus 1.5%, but the average price is $6.68. Now, if you've got any idea about how power play works, you'll find that anything over $6 is just a gift and makes us a lot of money. Metropolitan area, it's interesting. It's certainly easier for people to work out things there. We get 31% winners, slightly more, but we're losing 6.5% because the average price is down to $5.87. In the provincials, we still get that 30% wins, only lose about 5.9%. Once again, people have got a much fairer idea of what they're doing, but the average price comes down to $6.24. If we're looking at 3-year-olds only, you can see they're also fairly easy to pick because we get 37% winners, but we lose 9% with the average dividend coming down to $4.96. As a 4-year-old, 36.5% wins, only losing 3.7%. And finally, 5-year-olds, 29.5% wins, getting an average price of $6.60. Really, that's where you want to be. And you can easily beat this because obviously a lot of horses in that price range are firmed from $8, $9, $10, etc. Now, in the benchmarks 40 to 60, you don't see many at 40. But this is overall, okay? 28% wins at an average of $7.08, nearly square. 61 to 70, 30.5% wins, average dividends $6.27 and only a loss of 4%. And I mean, bear in mind, this is betting in every single one without discriminating at all. Benchmarks 71 to 80, 32% wins at $6.02 and 81 up. The prices come right down. We lose 15% because the dividends come right down to $4.92. Now, the benchmark 80 plus Enigma, what is it? The majority of those races are run at metro venues, and punters in general have a harder time winning with favourites, and our ratings find winners more easily, but at a much lower average dividend. When you're refined by the Winform top 2 that are favourite, you now find you're going to get 37% winners, so 316 wins from the last 860 races. So it's important to understand that also you must do a lot of work with the staking. So we've organised a Money Factory free trial. All you do is you go to stakingkings.com and register. Make sure you look for the authentication email that'll go out, then log back in and choose membership at a cost of $9.95. That gets you a full year of Dutch betting, which is a really good app. And you advise when it's done to gary.r@horseracingasaustralia.info. Once you've done that, we will set up the 4-week trial. Then choose to subscribe monthly if you wish. Power play. Well, first of all, Money Factory $25 a month includes the Dutch betting app. Power play costs $25 a month and includes the Dutch betting app as well. But if you do both Money Factory and Power play, it'll only cost you $35 a month. Now, you will find that those staking plans work as long as you're using the ratings and so on. You'll always be pretty near amongst the winners. Okay. So here's a quick system plan with Winform. First of all, as there's no such thing as a last race, try this simple plan, just including the top 2 rated Winform runners. This is a 30-day sample, and we included no heavy tracks. So we took all the heavy tracks out for the last few weeks. There have been a few of those. We say simply must be in the top 5 in the morning market. So looking in the newspaper or getting on the tab and looking at their prices first thing in the morning. Look only at the horses that are in the first 5. And we're only looking at the top 2 rated Winform runners. So they've got to be in the top 5 in the morning market, so they're not real long outsiders. Then as you get closer to the race, you're going to look at them to see if they're favourite or second favourite in the betting. And obviously beforehand you look at age 3 to 6. Now putting on just a $50 bet. There were 701 wins, 701 bets, 701 bets altogether. Okie doke. Now sometimes obviously in some races you might have the favourite and second favourite might be the Winform top 2, and other races the Winform, you might only have a Winform top 1 or only a Winform second rated one as first or second favourite. At the end of the day, though, you ended up with 208 winners, which is not a bad strike rate. Just betting $50 on each selection, and I'm just talking at like getting best fluctuation or best of the best as you get with Big Bet, for example. You get a profit of $2,890 for the month, an average of $700 a week. Well, considering that it only costs you probably no more than about $50 a week to get your Winform ratings, $700 a week is not a bad earn. And of course, the thing is, you can bet whenever you like. You don't have to bet every day. You can bet just midweek or just at the weekend, makes no difference. The important thing is to never stop learning. So read every book you can. We've got plenty of those on our website. You can order those. Most of the prices have been reduced. We want to encourage people to read them. Always keep up to date with the latest analysis. And why? Tracks are constantly changing, and so do the rules. We've got more women jockeys now, probably 1 in 3 are women. And we've got more subtle training methods. So quite often now you'll see horses starting after a 28, 35, 42, 48 day break and being expected to win. The other important thing, of course, is use smart staking plans. Now, just imagine, they always used to say you had to use a level stakes plan. That was the only way to win. Well, that was because they're saying don't use loss chasing staking plans. Well, guess what? Level stakes is a losing staking plan until you actually win and get in front. Okay, I'll leave it there, and thanks very much for watching.